U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders was in Keene this past weekend, and it seems a lot of residents wanted to hear what he had to say.
U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders drew an audience of nearly 1,000 supporters Saturday afternoon in what was his first visit to Cheshire County since declaring his candidacy for president. The Vermont Independent spoke to a standing room only audience at the Keene Recreation Center, drawing constant cheers and nods of approval for his views on topics ranging from income inequality to Social Security. The former socialist mayor of Burlington, Vermont, hopes to be a thorn in the side of Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton, and drew perhaps the loudest reaction from the audience when he suggested he'd beat the former Secretary of State in New Hampshire's first of the nation primary.
So let me tell you a secret. We're going to win New Hampshire.
The 74-year-old New York native wasted little time getting to the issues and focused a lot of attention on what he called an immoral and unsustainable economy. The senator blamed large corporations for the imbalance by stashing funds overseas to avoid paying taxes.
When we talk about income and wealth inequality, what I think many of you believe, that it is no longer acceptable for the billionaires and the millionaires of this country and for large multinational corporations to avoid paying their fair share of profits, of their fair share of taxes. They're making the profits, now they're going to pay their taxes on those profits. These large corporations are stashing their profits in the Cayman Islands and in other tax havens. We are losing as a nation over $100 billion a year. In any given year, there are major profitable corporations who make billions of dollars who pay zero in taxes.
The nation's longest-serving independent senator took dozens of questions from the crowd, touching on topics from healthcare to inept coverage of the issues by national media.
So you have a media, number one, the national media, not necessarily local media, but the national media, which is corporately owned, which of course has its agenda. And then what you also have is a culture now in media, which, as I mentioned earlier, treats politics not as how we deal with the issues facing our country. That's what politics is about. That's what democracy is about. People may disagree, but let's lay the issues out on the table and have that discussion.
The senator was slated to make stops in Iowa this week, home to the ever-important Iowa caucus, before returning to the Granite State later this month.
And we will indeed bring you coverage of Bernie Sanders' next visit to New Hampshire as his presidential bid continues.